As I'm out here, I felt compelled to record a video for you guys. And the theme is going to be the body and awareness of the body. So some context, it is now 8 in the morning and I am walking here in, well, that's a good start, the phone paused. It is 8 in the morning and I am now in a Dutch nature reserve called De Veluwe. I have been here for 3 nights with my camper van and camping out here as I like to do. So what I do is I just bring my van and then stay out here, and I have a Starlink, and I usually will work around 4 to 6 hours and then spend the rest of the day biking, hiking, or generally just being out in nature. And I do this because I am a very I'm a person that is very close to nature. So I lived in Norway for 9 years, and most of the time I've lived in relatively remote locations where I would have to drive 1.5 hours to work, and high up a mountain close to the trees. And it was a small farm, you could say, and the family who owned it, I was sort of renting from them and living together with them, and they had animals. And during the summer and spring times, I would always be out with my tent and going up in the mountains, being alone for days or weeks at a time. And yes, being out there, meditating, getting closer to what I was running from, and also in this period working very hard on my addictions and gaining freedom from those. So I've just been, now that I moved back to the Netherlands, 4 years ago now, I have then searched for ways to keep doing that, which is a lot harder because now I live in a smaller apartment in a town. I hear cars all day long when I have my window open, so it's a very different experience. And I have been very focused on my career for 3 to 4 years, and basically I neglected that whole side of me of being out in nature and getting in touch with that side of myself. I did keep up some meditation practices, like normal sitting meditation, but also towards the end of the period, that has also, when I started my business, that has also decreased more than I would like. So getting back to awareness of the body, for this trip I have very consciously focused myself on doing very physical activities and connecting and reconnecting with my own body. So when I lived in the monastery, I was trained in meditation practices, and the usual meditation practices you will learn are awareness of the breath at the nose tip, and you meditate on your breath, and then your mind will start to wander, and then the game becomes to bring the attention back to the breath all the time. So going away and going back, going away, going back, that is the game. And if you do that long enough, then eventually you'll be able to stick with it, and then you'll start to experience very deep states of calm, and euphoria. But that is not where the practice stops. What you start doing then is you start to take that calmness that you have achieved, and then you start directing that to your own body. And you start to investigate it and to become aware of things as they are. And what in Buddhist meditation, what we mean by that is that this body is a collection of cells that is bound to die, that is bound to disintegrate. And inherently, this body is just a set of borrowed atoms that happens to be gathered at this moment in time. But after usually 120 years max, most of the time it's like 70 to 80 years, you will get sick and die. And that is the reality of life. Also is that the body is comprised of physical elements. So when I'm out here and I take a handful of sand, then I'm holding the earth in my hand. I'm holding physical building blocks that are around me in my hand. Well, my body is just like that hand of sand. There's fundamentally nothing different between my body and all of the trees and the sand around me. And when you are a knowledge worker like me, and when you are focused on studying things, learning new things, we tend to get stuck in our head a lot. And even when I'm not careful, I can be walking out in this beautiful environment and just think about business and let my mind just loop and loop and loop. And in those moments when the mind goes like that, when the mind keeps thinking about things that you don't really want to be thinking about, or even worse, if you're not even aware that you're doing it, right? But if your mind is not calm, then in my perception there is something wrong. And wrong is not the right word. How do I put this differently? The natural state of the mind, the optimal state of the mind, is actually a calm, peaceful state where you're not constantly thinking and flitting around and stuck in these infinite thought loops. And I've experienced this myself with my years of monastic training, but also bringing that into my daily life, is that it is completely possible to live from hour to hour, from day to day, in a state of mind where you're constantly aware of your mind and understanding what is going on in your mind. And by virtue of that understanding, you can catch your mind in the moment when it starts to wander off places you don't want it to go. And as soon as you catch it, it will automatically calm down. So in other words, it's completely possible to live in this calm, peaceful state where your mind is simply blank and only engaged with what you are actually doing or what you need it to do. If you're like if you need to perform with business or your work or you're studying, then it's completely possible for the mind to be completely engaged with that for hours or days at a time without all of these negative thought loops. And one very effective way to do that, as someone who is a lot in their head, working with their head, very theoretical minded, which most of you who are watching this probably are, because the way social media and the internet works is that you attract people who are like you, right? Many of you have watched hours of my videos, and directly and indirectly you will get a sense of my personality, and that's why you are following me here on Substack as well. And a very effective way to stop this mind chatter is to then direct your attention to the body. So I realized that not many people have the discipline, the will power, and the time basically to sit down and meditate and focus on the breath. I mean, that is one very effective way of calming down your mind, even though the first few times it's going to be hell and you're just all over the place. But when you do it often enough, you will calm down. But another way is to bring your attention back to the body, and especially going out to a place like this for a few days is going to help you a lot in this process. So I am currently about to start a very intense time of learning, of skill acquisition, and for my business. And I very deliberately planned this trip to set myself up in a way so that I can do that in the best way that I could. So what I did during this trip is just like you see now. Like when I got out walking, the sun was almost not visible. It was about an hour ago. And I got up. I was up at 5:30 this morning. I had coffee. I did some business work, admin work, and as soon as the sun came out, I went out. And that is very important, to get moving your body early in the morning and to get the sunlight in your eyes directly. Andrew Huberman talks about this constantly, but one of the most efficient and easy health protocols you can do for yourself is to get sunlight in your eyes as soon as possible after waking, but ideally within 1 to 2 hours. If you do that, you are resetting your circadian rhythm, and your eyes, your visual, the perception cells are connected to your entire nervous system, and it sets off this whole cascade of hormonal processes and having to do with digestion, sleep, everything. So what I do is I get up, I go out, and then I go for a walk. And because I'm out here in these environments, like my camper is parked somewhere behind those trees. There's a small camping there, very basic camping with just facilities, and that's it. But by doing that, I am getting out. It's a little bit cold, and the cold makes me aware of my body. I am out here breathing very fresh air. There are very few sounds. I'm hearing all of these birds around me. And the second thing is having wide open space around me. If you notice, this is a very spacious place, a very beautiful, open, spacious place. And when you live in the city and you're just living in your apartment, chances are that you don't get to open your vision this way, like your peripheral vision, opening it up like this and just taking in the whole scene. And especially like me, like I get very focused. Like when I'm working, I close all the curtains and I just focus on my screen. I get very focused while working. But if you do that too much, then you get literally you get narrow-minded, right? So in order for creativity to flow, to get an optimal state of mind, and to basically increase your general mental health, I would say, it is important to regularly see like very open, wide spaces like this. And this could be like a large field, this could be the beach, taking a boat in the ocean. But if you're only seeing the four walls of your apartment, and in the city, if you're just walking between buildings all the time, you don't get to see like 4 kilometers ahead of you, right? And I think that's extremely important to open your mind like that too. Now, that is not necessarily related to mindfulness of the body, but that is one of the reasons why I get out here, to get that experience, right? Because I'm setting myself up to have this optimal mental performance. Now, the great thing about camping is that things are a bit more primitive, right? Like I'm these days it's like luxury with my van. I have my van out here. I have like a nice bed. I have a very easy way to boil water and make food. And it's just very easy for me to camp now. But this is only a development of the last year. Like I bought the van not even a year ago. But up until then, I have always been just literally taking the train here and taking my backpack, walking for 4 hours, and then sleeping on the ground, eating from a thin, just a small cup. And yeah, and that is even better, right? But in this case, even when I'm just with my van and I'm taking it easy in that sense, you're still walking around more. You're like getting water. You are setting up your camp. You're cleaning up stuff all the time. Eating outside among the trees in the sun. It's very different, but constantly your body is in motion because there's constantly these little chores to do. When you have to do your dishes, you have to take your dishes, walk to the different building and do the dishes there, that kind of thing. And all of this contributes to getting in a physical mode of your body, especially if you do it deliberately. And to get aware of your body as you're doing this, as you're walking, as you're doing the dishes, like simply directing your attention to the movement of the body and to how your body is feeling, acting, performing. All of this is a good way to get your mind out of these states where you're just looping and looping and constantly thinking and worrying and being anxious about things. Another very good tip is if you are feeling anxious, for example, or nervous, or any of these undesired mental states, next time you experience that, direct your attention to where you actually feel that in your body. So if you are anxious, you might feel it like in the top of your chest or in your stomach, right? But if you focus the attention on that specific place where you feel the anxiety, the fear, the any state that you're currently experiencing, if you focus on that long enough, you will find that eventually it will go away or get less. And when the physical sensation passes, almost always the mental sensation passes too. Okay? For me, an example of this is I'm on a weight loss regimen. I'm very heavily losing fat right now. Heavily, pun intended. The I've been focusing on that for the past 6 months now, and I've lost maybe 8 kilograms already. But I'm now getting in the state where it's getting really hard, right? The body is fighting the weight loss, and you start to get extremely hungry. So my current mental practice is hunger. So there, like I weigh out my food. I know exactly what my budget is for the day, right? But I almost always still feel hungry after eating it, which is kind of the point for with weight loss. But that is a very tough battle that I am fighting every day now, where I have to live with this mental state and physical state of hunger. And it's not hunger in the sense that, like people who haven't eaten for 2 weeks because they literally don't have any food, like people in these refugee camps in Iran right now or something like that. Those people are hungry. Like what I'm experiencing is not hunger, but still, like in my mental frame and the way I'm raised, that to me is hunger and an uncomfortable feeling. So my practice is to focus on, where do I feel that hunger? Like how does that feeling actually manifest itself in my body? Where is it? Where is the hunger? And for me, this is very often, I feel it in the top of my stomach. There's just this constant annoying hum. It's very weird to describe, but so this constant nagging feeling of, you should probably eat something. You should probably eat something. And I noticed that instead of instantly reacting to that, I can in fact become aware of the feeling itself and let the hunger pass away, or at least be fine with the fact that it's there. It's like, okay, I'm hungry, but what is that hunger actually? How does it manifest itself? Well, it's a humming feeling at the top of my stomach. Is that something that I can live with? Well, it's not extreme pain. It's not like I have had toothaches in my life before. Like, it's nothing like that. I can most definitely just do my work, do my daily stuff while that feeling is buzzing there. So what's the big deal? The same can be with when you have anxiety or any discomfort that you're experiencing. Like, is it bearable? Like, unless it's like extreme pain, like toothaches or like actual physical pain, most of these sensations are actually bearable and you're able to live with it. And the mental reaction is, oh, it shouldn't be this way. I should be in a constant state of non-feeling, or just feeling good all the time, feeling euphoria. But when you frame it back a little bit and bring your body, your mindfulness to your body, and thinking, what is the actual feeling that I'm experiencing right now, and where is it? And if you find the feeling, because this may take practice, mind you, like it's not like if you have never heard anyone talk like this before, and you may even not know when you are anxious, or when you may not be aware of your thought streams, and that you are stuck in these loops, right? So yeah, let me know in the comments if this resonates at all. But to bring it back to the beginner level, like, just start with becoming aware that you are thinking all the time, and try to become aware of what you're actually thinking about, what is actually going on in your mind, because most people don't even know what they're thinking about. Second step is then, when you are aware of your states and you are, for example, able to recognize that you are anxious, then try to bring your attention to the physical manifestation of that anxiety in your body, or hunger, or whatever you are currently experiencing or working with. And just don't give it attention in that sense. Just acknowledge that it's there. Become aware of it. But you don't have to do anything with it. Just hold the awareness in your mind that, okay, there is this feeling here. I'm anxious. It manifests itself as a tightness in my chest. And the tightness is there. And the temptation is then to think, oh, I should push away the tightness or it should go away. No, you just hold it in your mind. Just hold the attention there. And you will find that eventually it will pass away. Because as everything in this universe, everything is impermanent. Everything arises and passes away. There's nothing to hold on to in this universe, in this world. Nothing is permanent. Anything that arises must cease. Just like our bodies, this earth, it arose and it will cease to exist one day. Just like those things, your feelings also arise. They are there for a while and then they pass away. Like I can guarantee that the feelings that you experienced yesterday are not there right now, right? It's very clear and observable. So, awareness of the body is one of the 4 foundations of mindfulness in Buddhism. And it is, the Buddha himself acclaimed it as one of the highest is probably the wrong word. I forget the word. But it is one of the highest states of meditation practice and mental awareness. Is to direct yourself, to direct that to the body. And using the body as your mode of practice. So that is what I do by going on these trips. I sit on the ground. I move a lot. I exercise. Yesterday I biked for 37 kilometers. I walk a lot. I get outside and spend some time in the sun every morning. Today I sat down and did a nice round of breathing exercises and sitting meditation, constantly bringing my attention to my body, sitting on the ground with my hands in the sand, feeling that I am a part of nature that is around me. And by doing this, by firmly establishing my mindfulness in my body, my mind becomes very calm. Like my mind is completely calm right now. I am simply speaking what bubbles up from within. I had a theme in my head, but everything I've said so far is just on automatic mode. It just comes out. I feel calm, relaxed. I'm not thinking about anything as I'm speaking this. Simply breathing in the air and sharing these thoughts with you. And when I pause, my mind is completely calm. Like there's literally nothing happening in the mind. It's just calm, which is a delightful state to be in. That to me is true happiness, to be still. like a clear forest pool. Normally there are always ripples as animals come and drink from the pool, things come and go, disturbing the water. But true happiness is when the water is completely still. You're not up here like super happy, oh this is so cool, blah blah. And neither are you depressed or dissatisfied, suffering. Like what people think, when people want to define happiness, they will often think about excitement and, you know, being on top of the world. To me, that is not happiness. It's an extreme form of feeling. So you have on top of the world, you have depressed and suffering, and right in the middle there, that's where happiness is, where you're just peaceful, calm, simply present in the moment, not thinking about anything, simply existing and doing what you need to do. And in this state, this is the state that I want to be in, because I can then direct that mental calm to my studies, which I'm beginning tomorrow when I come back home again. I've reconnected with my physical nature, sitting on the ground, breathing the air, with my muscles and movement of the body. And when I'm studying and I find my mind wandering off or unable to focus, what I will do is I will just sit back, direct my attention to my body, do a check-in of all of the feelings that are going on in there, move it a little bit, and firmly grounding my awareness in my body, calming down the mind and redirecting it back to what I need to focus on. So that is today's reflection on awareness of the body. May it help you. May you all be happy, healthy, and well. And let me know in the comments below if this was helpful to you at all.